Okay, Eric Adams, he's in a bit of a quandary. Is he going to resign, will he or won't he? Now, hey, color me shocked, a politician in a scandalous affair. Oh, no. Well, oh, yeah, he is. And it sucks. Really, it does. It sucks, because an honest politician, will we ever have one? Better off believing off in Santa Claus, locking his monster, Bigfoot, Leprechaun, doing a joint music album. Let's play.
The city of New York. Thank you very much.
It won't happen.
Shut up.
It won't happen.
I ain't going back.
Those were protesters outside of Gracie Mansion today calling on New York City Mayor Eric Adams to resign after he was indicted on 5 federal corruption charges. For now, Mayor Adams says he's not going anywhere, but whether or not Eric Adams stays in office may not be up to Eric Adams. Under New York state law, the mayor can be removed by the governor if charged with a crime, or the city council could also form something called an inability committee to essentially impeach the mayor and take him out of office. Now, if Adams does resign or is removed, the person who would automatically become the mayor of America's largest city is New York City public advocate Jumaane Williams, and he joins me now. Mr. Williams, thanks for being here on a very, very big news night.
Thank you for having me and also helping introduce a whole host of people to what a public advocate is.
Yeah, yes. This is the time to talk about public advocacy, if there was ever a time. First of all, in the last hour, the governor of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul, has released a statement, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it. It reads in part, while I review my options and obligations as the governor of New York, I expect the mayor to take the next few days to review the situation and find an appropriate path forward to ensure the people of New York City are being well served by their leaders. That sure sounds to me like she'd like the mayor to decide to step down.
First of all, this is a painful time period for a lot of us in New York and a lot of folks who work with.
Well, listen, if you've been paying attention to New York politics, and I'm pretty sure our friends at Due Dissidents will agree, New York politicians have their fair share of corruption. This is nothing new. Oh, such a painful time. Hey, sit down. I'm going to tell you about all the painful times we've had corruption here in Chicago. Corruption in Chicago politics? When did that ever happen? Happens all the time. When my great-grandfather Joseph was born in this city, all the way up to your good friend Kit Cabello of Hardlands Media, my family has witnessed Chicago corruption, as have had everybody else living in the city. My goodness, Democratic politicians doing scandalous, nefarious things. It'd be no different than what you see in New York City.
With a lot of these folks in the news right now, it is really painful. We want to make sure that the city of New Yorkers understand that we are going to make sure government continues to work.
Yeah.
As someone who has done a lot of work around making a better, just criminal legal system, the innocent until proven guilty is a real thing, and no matter who it is. At the same time, these are really serious charges. Even the breadth is larger than I thought.
Yeah.
I think the mayor has to really think within himself, can I conduct business the way I need to with this weight? And can I help restore trust? And the window to show that is rapidly closing, but
dude, the window's been closed. Trust in politicians? My God, are you living under a rock? You're not that stupid. Don't be stupid. Come on. Don't be stupid. Please don't be stupid. Please don't be stupid. Please don't be stupid. But then again, hey, there are people who believe that the system's just fine, even though the whole world is going to be set afire.
I think it's a real question that he has to answer.
Have you talked to the governor at all?
I have not spoken to the governor since this bill.
Have you spoken to the mayor?
I have not spoken to the mayor since this bill.
Are you surprised? I mean, right now, his posture has been one of defiance. We played the sound this morning of his press conference, and he's exiting the stage literally to chants of resign, 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 resign. This doesn't feel like something that gets better the longer he stays defiant. What would you like to see from the mayor right now?
So I think to what you just said, this seems to get worse by the day, and in some cases by the...
Yeah, just like the story of the diddler, a.k.a. Puff Daddy. Look out, it's the diddler. Man, Puff Daddy's going to have that whole cell block's going to be a buzz. You got Sam Bankman-Fried with FTX. You know, as soon as, by the way, I saw a really great documentary about the fall of FTX. I mean, my God. Every day it was getting worse and worse for that boy. Then there's the diddler. Everything was going worse and worse for good old P. Diddy, right? The diddler. Look out, it's the diddler. Everybody cover yourself up. Because when the diddler comes around now, he'll make sure you go shopping. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Sorry. All right. Back on point. Focus. And now the mayor of New York City. The mayor. People in his staff and his administration are also being investigated. All comes crashing down. I like the deflecting though. We got to rebuild trust again. How can you build trust when everybody has been spat on and crap's been thrown at them?
I don't think that you can put together a plan to show that you can continue doing this, but that's what he has to do. So if there is a way to show that I can continue doing my work, I can keep running the government, I can restore trust, you should just do that. And deflection is not a plan. Continuing to deflect and pretending this is not as serious as it is, and it's something that you might be able to just explain away, is not that plan. So if you have one, say what it is, because we really want to hear it, and New Yorkers deserve it.
Yeah, New Yorkers do deserve it. I do wonder, first of all, when you read the indictment, the evidence alleged in there is extraordinary. This is barely concealed corruption. It is so transparent. It is a gross misuse of public funds to the tune of maybe $10 million. What was your reaction when you read it?
It's pretty bad. There's nowhere around that. And I will say,
yes, it is pretty bad, but that's how a lot of politicians operate. Why is everyone shocked by this? We got the psychopaths, the sociopaths, the greedy and corrupt running the whole show.
Even if, people could say that, they weren't surprised, even though you're disappointed. For me, the breadth of it was what shocked me, and the length of time shocked me. And it was a pretty laid out case, in my opinion. But again, the presumption of innocence is really important. And giving someone the ability to defend themselves is really important. Now, that is different from saying,
yes, due process must take place. We have a system. Due process must take place. Innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. It is what it is. Innocent until proven guilty.
Can you continue to function to make sure the city's running? Can you help restore trust?
What has been the reaction inside New York City governance?
And everybody's concerned. It's a chaotic moment.
Were people surprised?
I mean, I don't know if
people are surprised and scared because, am I next? Am I next? Am I next? Possibly, maybe, you could be. That's why everybody's panicked and shocked. Gee, I hope you're not any kind of wiretapes. Hope you don't hear at the door, FBI, open up!
Again, if people were surprised or more just saddened that we're in this moment in time, I mean, this has been building for a very long time. I think the breadth of it was a little shocking. I don't think many of us expected some of the things that we saw. And so people are just trying to figure out, how do we portray trust to the people of New York? That's what it's about. That's what the succession plan is about. Just having a plan in case an eventuality happens, that New Yorkers can know that trash is going to get picked up. 911 is going to be answered. 311 is going to be answered. These are the things that people really care about. And I don't know the mayor has done a good job of showing that I have a plan to do that at this moment in time.
I do wonder, when you talk of there's the easy way out, I guess, to use the sort of mafia parlance where the mayor decides to leave. And then there is the governor saying, you got to go. There is what is called the Inability Committee, which would be a 5-member committee involving the New York City Corporation Counsel, the lawyer who is no longer in office. So that's an empty seat. The New York City Comptroller, who's already running against Eric Adams for mayor, the city council speaker, and the longest serving borough president and a deputy mayor of Adams' choosing. Have we ever been here before? Can you tell us about the Inability Committee and how that might come to pass?
We are definitely in uncharted territories. That is 100% correct. The positions you just mentioned, 2 of them are not even in at this moment in time. We could have a whole story of why the general counsel is not.
I'm seeing some people in the chat talking about why there's corruption in major cities because it's the Democrats. In Chicago, we have a little bit of a unique kind of system. You register as a Democrat after you get elected in. Anybody can run for office. Just how convenient you got a D in front of your name. See, we perfected feudalism and corporatism in this city, and the same thing can be applied in a lot of these other major metropolitan cities. They're a Democrat. Sure. They're corporatists. And before people say, oh, well, you guys voted for that in Chicago, voter turnout's been abysmal, and it's been getting lower and lower. Why? Because the people don't believe in the system anymore. It's got so corrupted, and it started with Old Man Daley himself. Old Man Daley. Yes, even before Old Man Daley got into power, the city council had its fair share of corruption. But boy, things returned to 11 when Old Man Daley cemented power. Please read American Pharaoh. You'll find out what kind of influence he had in this country. One little mayor from Chicago, outside of Gary, Indiana.
That's a whole thing by itself. So it's uncharted territories, and who knows which direction it's going to be. And I think that's why a lot of us, including myself, are asking the mayor to look within himself and really have some conversations about what is best for New York City right now. What is best to restore trust? What is best to display that the city is going to continue to move forward? That's something that he has to answer, but he has to answer it. And if you're sitting back like me and saying, I just don't see how you can put that out, what plan it's going to look like. But if there is one, let us know. And again, just continue to deflect is not a plan. Just saying, brushing aside is not a plan. This is really, really tough stuff, painful stuff, but we're here. None of us want.
Yes, he's talking about painful. You know what this is code word for? You know what that's code word for? You know what it's code word for? Hey, everybody in City Hall is kind of panicking, like, am I on the wiretap? Did I say something stupid? Got a lawyer up. Got a lawyer up. Everybody's afraid. So we got this article here from RT, just to trigger the libs. Eric Adams has become the first mayor in New York City's 400-year history. Isn't that special? To be charged with federal crimes while in office. Federal prosecutors in the Southern District of New York unsealed an indictment against the city's second ever black mayor on Thursday morning, having leaked the word of its existence the day before. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams of the Southern District of New York, really, whoa, crazy, announced the charges as part of a crusade against corruption, especially when the corruption takes the form of illegal foreign influence on our democratic system. The indictment charges Adams with 5 counts of federal crimes, including conspiracy, wire fraud, solicitation of campaign contributions from foreign nationals, and bribery. All the wonderful things mixed together into a wonderful, wonderful meal. It alleges that Adams has accepted an estimated $100,000 worth of upgrades to Turkish Airlines and at luxury hotels in Turkey since 2014, and both sought to accept straw donations from Turkish nationals. I always knew it was Turkey, which allowed him to claim $10 million in matching campaign funds from the state of New York. Prosecutors listed 2 instances of Adams allegedly repaying the favors by putting a Turkish national on his transition team after being elected mayor in 2020, and by pressuring the New York Fire Department in September of 2021 to give the 36-story Turkish consular building a temporary fire safety certificate, so it would be ready for a visit by Turkish President recipient Erdogan. I can't say his first name. I apologize to people of Turkey. Adams responded to the news of the indictment by releasing a 2-minute video message on Wednesday, in which he said the charges will be entirely false based on lies, and everyone's entitled to due process. The FBI raided the home of Brianna Suggs, one of Adams' top fundraisers, on November 2nd last year. Adams has just arrived in Washington to complain about the surge of asylum seekers, but cut his visit short and returned to New York. On Thursday, Adams' lawyer, Alex Spiro, released a statement accusing the SDNY of improper leaks and creating a spectacle of bogus raid, noting that federal judges have criticized them repeatedly for spinning in front of the cameras and tainting jurors. But they keep doing it because they can't help themselves. The spotlight is just too exciting. We will see them in court. What a waste. Anyways, now, again, although every New York City's mayor's office in the last 45 years has been subject to some kind of corruption probe, Adams is the first mayor to actually be charged with crimes while in office. You know what? What's funny about this is yesterday I actually watched the movie Gotti, the John Gotti movie. Not the one with John Travolta, but the first one, the one that came out on HBO way back in the day. And I just can't help but remember the final quotes of that movie. 10, 15 years from now, people are going to wish that there was an American Costa Nostra. 10, 15 years from now, people are going to wish there was a John Gotti. Because, when we talk about corruption, I mean, it's easy to vilify the mob and all these criminals. And look, there's a reason why these cartels and mobs exist, is because politicians enacting very stupid policies. But my goodness, what a world it is when the criminals, the mob bosses, all those guys have more integrity than our current politicians. I mean, even though they were criminals and did bad things, everybody, and they did, including our beloved Saint Alphonse Capone. All right. And he's an angel. He's a saint in this household. He's a hero in this household. At least they kind of sort of help people out here and there back in the day. These politicians, be they at the city level, state level, federal level, my goodness, oh Malone, do they eat? They don't even pass a salt. They don't pass a salt no more. They're living it up while the rest of us are starving. If you're not mad, you should be. If you're not furious, you should be. I want to pull up another video here too as well. Wait, I don't think we do. But as a final note, folks, it's all corruption. And the only reason why people are shocked right now in New York City Hall, because they're wondering, am I next? Am I next? Chances are. FBI, open up.